Assalamualaikum and hi everyone. Today we are going to solve some questions regarding the topic
Compound interest and annuity.
We are from Diploma in Accountancy, TAC 1101E, and we are from Group
3.
So, our group members consist of me, Aisyah Sofia binti Zulhikam,
Me, Najihah Husna binti Mohamed NADZIR.
and Muhammad Irfan Fikri bin AZIZUL Fikri.
I will be explaining about compound interest. Compound interest is the interest on a loan or deposit calculated based on both the initial principal and the accumulated interest from previous periods. So, the compound interest formula is S equals to P open bracket 1 plus I close bracket to the power of N, where S is the compound amount, P is the principal, amount of money borrowed, deposited or invested, I is interest per period, and lastly, N is M, the number of times interest calculated in a year, multiplied by T, term or length in years. Next is annuity. As you all know, annuity has two formulas, which is the present value and the future value. So, the present value is the sum that must be invested at the beginning of an investment period to guarantee a desired payment in the future. The present value formula is A equals to R open bracket 1 minus open bracket 1 plus I close bracket to the power of negative N over I close bracket. So the only things that different here is the A and R, which means A equals to present value and R is the periodic payment. Next, the future value of an annuity is the amount in which the current investment will grow or accumulated over time. The future value formula is S equals to R open bracket 1 plus I close bracket to the power of N minus 1 over I close bracket, where S is the future value. It is so easy to differentiate between these two values because the future value is the amount at the end of the period, while the present value is the amount at the beginning of the period. So now, let's move on to solve some questions.
For part A, question 1, 7 years ago, Edward deposited RMX into a savings account that paid 5.6% interest compounded every 3 months. Today, the amount in his account is 20,568 ringgit and 28 cents. He decided to deposit another 2,555 ringgit into the same account. The first question is to find the value of X. The second question is to find the amount in his account 3 years after the additional deposit. The third question is determine the amount of total interest after 10 years. For the first question, we have to find the interest rate per period, which is I equals to K over M. K is the nominal rate, which is 0.056, and M is the number of times interest calculated in a year, which is 4. So I equals to 0.056 over 4. Next, we have to find the N, which is M multiplied by T. T is a term or length in years. So N equals to 4 multiplied by 7, which is 28. So now, we have to insert the I and the N into the compound amount formula S, which is P in bracket 1 plus I power of N. From the question, we already know that P is 20,568 ringgit and 28 cents. So now, we just have to find the X. After we insert everything into the compound amount formula, we will get that X is 13,935 ringgit and 91 cents. For question 2, we have to find the I, which is 0.056 over 4, and the N, which is 4 multiplied by 3, which is 12. So now we have to find the P. We take the previous accumulated value, which is 20,568 ringgit and 91 cents, and add with the additional deposit, which is 2,555 ringgit, to have the new principal value, which is 23,123 ringgit and 28 cents. Now we put everything into the compound amount formula S, and we will get 27,321 ringgit and 52 cents. For the third question, to find the total interest, we have to use the value of compound interest S in question 2, which is 27,321 ringgit and 52 cents, and minus it with the amount of principal P in question 1, which is 13,935 ringgit and 91 cents. Then, we'll get that the total interest is 13,385 ringgit and 61 cents.
Question 2A. AISYAH had a fund of RM 69,000 and planned to invest her money into different scheme. She invested 55% of her money in scheme A and paid 8% compounded quarterly. The balance was invested in scheme B that pay K% compounded semi-annually. After 10 years, the accumulated amount of the both investment will RM 1030. Determine the value of the interest rate K for scheme B. Solution 2A. For scheme A, 55% times 69,000 equal to 37,950. So I equal to 0.08 over 4 and N is 4 times 10. So we need to find the maturity value. S equal to 37,950 bracket 1 plus 0.08 over 4 power of 40. So we get RM 83,795.11 cents. So for scheme B, 45% times 69,000 equal to 31,050. So I equal to K per 2 and N equal 2 times 10. So we need to find the maturity value. 6,204.89 equal to 31,050 bracket 1 plus K over 2 power of 20. So we need to times 1 over 20. So we get K equal to 4%. Question 2B. Marco borrow RM 7,820 from Sina Bank that charged an interest of 4.59 compounded monthly. After 3 years, he settled the loan by making a total payment 9,833 ringgit. Find the duration of the loan T. So for question 2B, I equal to 0.0459 over 12, N equals to 12T. So 9,833.03 equal to 7,820 bracket 1 plus 0.0459 over 12 power of 12T. So we get 1.2578 equal to bracket 1.0038 times 12T. So we just use the loan. So we get T equal to 5. So question 1 part B, after retirement, Jennifer will have RM 2,004 370 in her account which pay interest at 4.1% compounded monthly. She plans to withdraw RM 2,500 every month for her expenses. Beginning 1 month after she retire, what is the maximum number of equal withdrawal that she can make? So for part B, question 1, so firstly we need to find A equals to 0.041 per 12. So we need to substitute all the info into the present value formula, which is A equal to 2,370, R equal to 2,500 and I equal to 0.041 per 12. And then we need to move 2,500 to the left hand side and also 0.041 over 12 to the left hand side. And then we got 0.279233. And then we need to minus 0.279233 with 1. And then we got negative 0.720767. So we just use loan formula for both sides. So we get negative N equal to negative 95.99. We need to round up. So we get N equal to 96.
Part B, question 2. Mr. Lee deposited RMX monthly in an account that paid 4.1% interest compounded monthly. After 8 years, he withdrew all the money to pay for the 10% down payment of a condominium. The price of the condominium is RM 710,000 and the balance is to be paid by making equal monthly installment for 30 years. The interest charge was 3.9% compounded monthly. The first question is, calculate the value of X. X is equals to P, which is the principal amount. So, we need to find the principal amount. Firstly, we need to find the interest rate per period by dividing K is equals to 0.041 and M is equals to 12. When we divide those two, we will get the interest rate per period of 41 over 12,000. Next, we need to find the N, where N is equals to M multiplied by T. M is equals to 12 and T is equals to 8. When we multiply those two, we will get 96. For this question, we need to use the compound interest formula. But before that, we need to find the down payment of the condominium first by multiplying 710,000 with 10%. And we will get the down payment 71,000. Now, we can substitute all the information that we found into the compound interest formula. And we need to rearrange the formula by making P as the subject. The answer that we will get is 51,174 ringgit and 38 cents. The second question, B. Calculate the monthly installments to be paid for the condominium. Since the question said that the balance is to be paid by making equal monthly installments for 30 years, so we need to minus the original price of the condominium, which is 710,000, with 71,000, which is a down payment, to get the balance 639,000. Next, we need to find the I, which is the interest rate per period. K have a new amount, which is 0.039, and M is the same, which is 12. So when we divide those two, we will get 13 over 4,000. Next, we need to find the N. T have also a new amount, which is 30. So 12 multiplied by 30, we will get 360. We will use the present value formula to solve this question. because this question wants us to find the monthly installments, and monthly installment is equals to R. So we need to substitute all the information that we found into the present value formula, and we need to rearrange R as a subject. And the answer that we will get is 3,013 ringgit and 96 cents. For the third question, C. If Mr. Lee failed to pay the first 4 monthly installments, calculate the amount he had to pay on the 5th payment in order to settle the outstanding arrears. For this question, we need to use the future value formula to find the S, because we need to find the 5th payment lump sum. So in order to do that, we need to have R, which is 3,013 ringgit and 96 cents. And N is equals to 5 because the question said on the 5th payment. And also, we need to use the interest rate per period that we used in the second question. Remember, not the first, but the second question. Now, we can substitute all the information that we found into the future value formula. And the answer that we will get is 15,168 ringgit and 7 cents. And last but not least, D. Immediately after paying the 300th payment, Mr. Lee decided to settle the balance of the loan. Find the amount to be paid. Firstly, we need to find the new N by minus the original N, which is 360 with 300, because the question said immediately after paying the 300th payment. And then we will get the new answer for N, which is 60. For this question, we need to use the present value formula. R is equals to 3,013 ringgit and 96 cents, and I is equals to 13 over 4,000. And lastly, N is equals to 60. And the final answer that we will get for this question is 164,056 ringgit and 92 cents.
So
that is all from us. We hope you enjoyed and understand this video deeply. And thank you for watching.